the Big 12 now on ESPN+. It is the return of college football on a beautiful Friday night in Lawrence, Kansas. A lot of optimism surrounding the Kansas Jayhawks in year 2 under Lance Leipold, and tonight they welcome in Tennessee Tech out of the FCS. Hello everyone and welcome to week 1 of college football. It is so good to have it back, isn't it? The former ECU tight end Jay Sunholter and Noah Reed with you. It is going to be such a fun year of college football, but more specifically in the Big 12, 3 teams ranked in the top 15 in the country.
Yeah, Noah, you have the marquee names at the top of the league, but I've been so impressed with the depth of the league and how competitive every Saturday will be.
It's year 2 under Lance Leipold here at Kansas, and with 18 starters coming back, it's a lot of excitement.
There's so much confidence within the program building into the spring and summer workouts. They're coming in here with a lot of momentum. Also, the coaching staff hit the transfer portal. 14 players coming into the program that they feel like they really hit on.
Well, they got 14 new guys, but one of them that's coming back this year is Jalen Daniels, and the quarterback was phenomenal to end the season last year.
He was on fire the last 3 ball games, 6 touchdowns and only 3 interceptions. He protected the football, and really he stepped into a leadership role, building a lot of confidence heading into this year.
A guy who, like you said, 19 years old, was 17 years old as a true freshman when he stepped onto campus and got the starting job for the Jayhawks. There's Jalen Daniels right there, the starter. Phenomenal year last year, and they said going into camp, he just flat out won the job.
Yeah, it was a competitive battle with Jason Bean in preseason camp, but he came out there and he's played the best football of his career.
Tennessee Tech led by Dwayne Alexander, the head coach. They won the toss, and a rarity in today's game did not decide to defer. They will receive the football. They want to be on offense first, Jay.
This is a big opportunity for Tennessee Tech, a great atmosphere, and to start off the season on the road in the Big 12, something they were looking forward to, being aggressive.
Fantastic crowd on hand here at Memorial Stadium in Lawrence, Kansas for the start of the 2022 college football season. And off we go in Lawrence, and it's booted into the end zone and a touchback to start things here. And it's Tennessee Tech's offense out on the field first. And they're led by the quarterback, a 6th-year senior, Jay, and Jeremiah Oatsvall, who hasn't played a full season, though, since 2018.
I can't wait to watch him play. We've heard so many good things, and this coaching staff has so much belief in him, but they told us the same thing. They're really looking forward to seeing him perform in a game-like action.
He's been in the Ohio Valley Conference before, spent a couple years at Austin Peay. Transferred to Memphis a season ago, didn't play there, and electing to make his final season in a Tennessee Tech uniform. First snap, and here's the toss. David Gist stuttering through and into a pileup at the 26-yard line. It's Malcolm Lee who leads the charge on the tackle. David Gist, a guy that had a really good season a year ago, coming off of an injury the season before that, Jay, ran for just under 1,000 yards, and a guy that they want to touch the football a lot tonight. And
we're going to see him lined up in the I formation, also out in the slot. This is a West Coast offense that Wesley Satterfield, the offensive coordinator, has brought to Tennessee Tech, so they're going to put him in positions to get him the ball as much as possible.
Here on 2nd and 9, a quick toss to Fleming, and it goes through his hands, incomplete. 3rd and long coming up.
And it was Kenny Logan, the star safety for Kansas, coming off the edge on a blitz, trying to light things up here early on.
That's Kenny Logan Jr. right there, the senior out of Florida. 113 tackles a season ago, the most by a safety in the nation. Chance for Kansas's defense to get off the field on a 3-and-out to begin the game. On the option, it's Gist. Nowhere to go, and he gets swarmed behind the line. A 3-and-out for Kansas's defense, and Craig Young, the Ohio State transfer, with his first tackle in a Kansas uniform.
One of the things you'll notice watching Kansas's defense is the team speed. They really feel like they improved vastly in the offseason. There's Young coming through, sealing off the edge along with his teammates, swarming to the football. This is an outstanding job on the first series, really playing well together and giving Tennessee Tech no room to run.
It's one drive in, we're 3 plays, but this is a Kansas defense that gave up more than 40 points per game last year, and they look locked in early.
In punt formation for Tennessee Tech is number 41, Nicholas Bigelow.
Nick Bigelow on to punt it away for Tennessee Tech after the 3-and-out. And it's Grimm back to receive the punt, but a shallow one, and takes a huge Kansas bounce all the way inside the 40-yard line.
Outstanding field position for the Kansas offense. The defense did the job. Special teams helps to set them up here for the first drive.
Just a 16-yard punt is the official number on that. Kansas's offense comes out, and look at this, Jay. The improvement under Lance Leipold in year one a season ago compared to what they were in 2020. It's a Jayhawks program that's taken a step forward.
It's night and day. I mean, what this coaching staff was able to do with a quick turnaround in the first year, they feel so much better heading into year two, just with the consistency and the structure of their schemes, and their players feeling more comfortable.
Here's Kai Thomas, the Minnesota transfer, spinning his way through. Might have got back to the line of scrimmage, and that was it. Loaded backfield. Kai Thomas, one of 4 or 5 guys that will get a lot of touches.
They feel really good about the depth in the backfield, and tonight we're going to see them all, but this is really a competition still that's ongoing for the running back room to see who gets playing time throughout the season.
He goes out. Devin Neal comes in. A great true freshman season last year. Quick throw. Here's Grimm. Nowhere to go again. Seth Carlisle, the linebacker, in on the open field tackle, and 3rd and long for Kansas.
Well, and this is an undersized Golden Eagles defense. They're going to have to use their speed and their quickness and technique as well to make plays, and that's exactly what they did. Nice job flowing over the football, getting off the block, and there was nowhere to go in the alley.
A little bit of a slow start for Lance Leipold's offense. Defense got him a 3-and-out. The offense trying to avoid the same. Daniels with a lot of time. Wide open man in the middle of the field, and it's Lawrence Arnold, the guy they think is going to be the #1 receiver this year.
Now, he's the go-to guy, especially on 3rd down situations. That's where Daniels is going to look toward him. The offensive line held up perfectly here. Look at the pocket. Good job shifting over. We're going to clean area to throw, and then Daniels was very patient, surveying the field, and found the open man.
21 yards on 3rd and 10. There was nobody around Arnold.
Yeah, great job just sitting in that open zone by Arnold.
First red zone opportunity for Kansas. Neal shakes one, and there it goes. Touchdown, Kansas. Devin Neal gets the scoring started.
Well, Neal can run around you or run through you. Great job running through the arm tackle with power. The offensive line clearing a path. Impressive first drive for the Jayhawks, executing down the field.
4-play, 40-yard drive, just under 2 minutes off the clock for Kansas to begin the season. And Borchilla goes right down the center. 7-0. Kansas defense gets a 3-and-out to start. The offense gets the touchdown as well. It's Devin Neal from 21 yards out. Kansas up early, 1 possession in.
make sure your living room is always a perfect 71 degrees, that the drippy faucet in your kitchen is 100% less drippy, and that your workspace is comfortably cushy. Yep, it's the get it done right the first time experts from Kate's. Right now, get a rebate of up to $600 on qualified American Standard heating and air conditioning systems with Kate's. Because who can keep your house humming like a well-oiled machine? That's right, Kate's can.
Making ends meet has always been a challenge, but lately, additional new sources of energy have been driving up costs faster than we can keep up.
For people on a fixed income, the impact of costly additional energy sources hits hard.
The fact is, oil and natural gas remain the most economical energy source known to the world today, lifting up Kansas families with affordable, reliable energy.
That makes all the difference for a Kansas family like mine. Get the facts about Kansas oil and natural gas.
Oil and natural gas
helps keep every Kansas family strong.
This is Coach Lance Leipold. We're used to talking about all things football, but right now I want you to hear these 4 important words about the growing crisis of drug overdoses. One pill can kill. Kansans are dying every week from drugs laced with deadly fentanyl. Please educate your loved ones to steer clear of street drugs, never buy pills online without a prescription, and always use a reputable pharmacy. Just one pill can kill.
Fun start to the season for the Kansas Jayhawks. Defense gets the 3 and out. The offense with a short touchdown drive to begin things. And right away, it's Devin Neal getting a 19-yard touchdown run.
Clear path, make one man miss, and easily gets into the end zone. Devin Neal coming into the season with such hype off of his true freshman campaign. He's going to be a big leader for this offense.
How cool is this, too? He's from Lawrence, Kansas. This is his hometown, and a year ago, this was tweeted out by the football program. How it started versus how it's going, I think it's going pretty well.
Isn't that amazing for him to grow up here and then be able to play here? It's a dream come true, but an opportunity that means so much to him.
Tennessee Tech is number 7, Demetrius Fleming.
Soars into the back of the end zone again for a touchback, and on the second straight offensive drive for Tennessee Tech, the Golden Eagles start at the 25-yard line, trying to get something going after there was nothing on the first 3 plays.
Well, they tried to get the ball to the outside on the ground. We'll see here if they try to go in between the tackles to get some room, but they have to find a way to establish the run game so they can give Jeremiah Oatsfall a chance in the passing game with protection up front.
He's a 6th-year senior, guy that's been around before. He's played in a lot of games against Power 5 teams when he was at Austin Peay, including games against Cincinnati and Pitt. Oatsfall to throw, swings it out to his running back and gets upended near the 26-yard line. Quavell Thornton with his first catch of the game.
Thornton had an impressive preseason camp. They wanted to find ways to get him the ball. He's so quick and elusive. And there, 3 Jayhawks come over to make the tackle. He tried to run through him. Picked up a couple yards.
Best offensive play so far. Trying to get something going out of the backfield. Second and long. Just nowhere to go as he gets twirled down behind the line of scrimmage again. Taiwan Berryhill, the junior linebacker.
Berryhill just read the run, sifted through the offensive line, and then once he saw the lane, he attacked him. He's a guy the coaching staff will really have high hopes for what he can do from the linebacking core coming into the season.
Loss of 2 yards, and Lance Leipold said he's been the most high-catching guy on defense in camp this season. Another deep third down. Oatsville has the protection and throws it ahead of Quentin Cross. Another fourth down upcoming, and Kansas's defense off to a phenomenal start.
No, they played base defense. They didn't bring any extra rushers. It was just the front four collapsing into the pocket of Oatsville, and Lance Leipold has to be very pleased with his defense's effort the first 2 drives.
6 total plays. His defense has gotten a pair of 3-and-outs. And not a single play has gone for more than 2 yards yet.
And they're playing hard, flowing to the football, and you can see they're really disciplined in their coverage, and they're all in position to make plays.
Second punt of the day now for Bigelow. This one significantly better than the first, as Grimm calls for a fair catch right at the 35-yard line for the Jayhawks to begin drive number 2. Little under 10 to go in the first quarter, and Kansas with the football up a touchdown. Welcome you back now to Memorial Stadium in Lawrence, Kansas. Jayhawks with the football already up 7-0. The defense has gotten a pair of 3-and-outs to begin. Daniels on the play action. Deep down the middle. He's got a man, and it's Skinner inside the 10-yard line. Quentin Skinner is the guy that Lance Leipold said he might be our biggest under-the-radar wide receiver. Might not be anymore, Jay.
Well, there's a misdirection in the backfield. Beautiful throw by Daniels. And then Skinner just ran right through the middle with his speed, broke past the safeties. Great job by the offensive line protecting, and then Daniels hitting his wide open wide receiver.
Josh Relaford saved the touchdown with a tackle, but still a pickup of 56. First down and goal inside the 10. Highshaw stretching to the edge, and it's 13-0 early.
Up front, number 50, Mike Nowitzki, the Remington Award watch. Offensive lineman, the center, just sealing off the edge, and then Highshaw, with his speed, gets around the corner. Big play through the air, then the ground attack.
Highshaw missed all of last season on his first touch in over a year. Goes for a 9-yard touchdown. Borchilla makes it 14-0. Quickly, everything going right for offense, everything going right for defense. 2-touchdown lead.
Well, and I love the play calling by Andy Kotelnicki, the offensive coordinator. He runs a pro-style system, mixing in the run and the pass, getting everybody involved. A lot of window dressing with the play calling, shifts, formation moves, really putting pressure on the defense for Tennessee Tech, but they've been effective and very accurate through the air with Daniels.
Well, we're only 2 drives in. We've already seen 3 running backs, and we could potentially see as many as 4 or 5 tonight.
So the coaches just raved about the depth in the backfield. They feel like each player brings something different to the table, and they trust all of them in the ballgame. And they said, hey, we're going to give everybody a chance tonight to go out there and show us what they've got and continue to earn playing time throughout the season.
Saw Neal with the first touchdown. Just saw Highshaw, who missed all of last season, with a touchdown. Kai Thomas has him touch early in the game. Just waiting to see Savion Morrison and Terry Laughlin. More than likely at some point in this one, only 6 minutes in, and already 3 running backs have touched the football. It was all set up by that guy right there in Quentin Skinner.
Taking off for Kansas, number 40, Tabor Allen. Leading for Tennessee Tech is number 7, Demetrius Fleming. Fleming
and just back to return the kick. They get the football starting at the 25-yard line. 6 plays, not much going for them right now. Jay, how can they get some offense in this game?
Well, the key is they have to find a way to get success on 1st and 2nd down to help them out, because right now it's been 3rd and long the first 2 drives. But going back to the ground game, I know it's a tough task up front, but their offensive line has to get some push so they can establish that ground game and give some open areas through the air for Oatsvall.
Yeah, so far, Oatsvall in this offense has seen a 3rd and 9 and a 3rd and 11.
1st and 10 at the 25.
Oatsvall keeps and tumbles forward down to the 31-yard line. Kenny Logan Jr., who led the team in tackles last season, has one early.
Nice play design with the zone read. And Oatsvall just kept it, saw the defensive end crashing down and went around the edge.
Quick pace here for Oatsvall. Sidearms it to his receiver, and Fleming for the 1st down.
A 6-year quarterback, you have experience. Stay cool in the pocket. We'll see Oatsvall look over to the left, stay patient, and then he found a lane, and with a little sidearm was able to get it out for the 1st down.
Picks up 7, moves the sticks. And Demetrius Fleming, a guy that they really like. Jay was a 2nd-team All-Ohio Valley Conference guy his freshman year. Last couple of years is battling some injuries. They think he's full strength right now.
But he's got the track speed on the outside. He can really put pressure on his secondary. Nice job the underneath route to get the 1st down.
Oatsvall again ducking through some traffic down to the 41-yard line, and Marvin Grant, the Purdue transfer, with the stop.
You always want to be careful with how much you run your quarterback, but 2nd time on this drive where Oatsvall's carried the ball and he's had success. And again, the beginning of the drive, Noah talked about having success on 1st down. That was a good start here. The positive yardage, getting 3 yards.
Wesley Satterfield, the offensive coordinator, said we want to limit the amount of times he's hit in the game to 10 or under. Well, he's already getting up there pretty early. 2nd and 7. Oatsvall again with the target. It's Willie Miller, who is a quarterback turned into wide receiver, with the 1st down.
It was just a hitch route. The defense was backpedaling, protecting the deep routes. It was wide open underneath. Miller knew exactly where to set up.
Oatsvall quick on the slant. Fleming twists out of 1 tackle right to the sticks. See if they give him enough to move him. Well, a little bit of tempo on this drive, and that's turned into some success for Tennessee Tech.
They've changed up the pace, and that's really helped them kind of get into a groove, and the wide receivers are doing their job getting open. Nice job on the slant route to get inside of the defensive back.
This team that wants to run the football, but going through the air seems to work. Second and 1. Here's Gist. Breaks out of an arm tackle and then gets smacked at the 35-yard line. An injured player down in the field right now for the Golden Eagles. And that's Ellis Adams, the left guard. 14-0, Kansas on top early. Tennessee Tech moving the football now. First and 10 out of the timeout. A little trickery on the end around. And Thornton gets ushered out of bounds after a short pickup. There's Ellis Adams, the left guard that got rolled up on just last play for the injury timeout. And now David Ogenacaro, the sophomore, comes in to replace him. You get a look right there on the left side of the screen with Caleb Sampson falling into him.
Yeah, it's always tough when you're engaged up front and somebody falls into your back leg. And hopefully Adams will be okay. He's one of the returning starters, 8 starts last year for Tennessee Tech, and part of that left side of the offensive line, which is where their strength is.
Oatsvall getting chased, has to get rid of it, and just heaves it out of bounds. Jeremy Robinson, the junior, got the pressure on Oatsvall. How about this, though, on this drive, Jay? The last 8 plays have gone for 44 yards for Tennessee Tech. The first 6 went for -2. They're starting to move the football now.
Yeah, they're starting to feel better on this drive. And Kansas got pressure on that last play, but they've got to find a way with their front four to continue to get into the backfield. And a big play coming up here on third down.
0 for 2 on third down so far today. Miller in motion. 3rd and 7. Oatsville trying to squeeze through the line, and he gets taken down behind to bring up 4th down. Caleb Taylor, the first of the swarm to get to him.
Taylor just stays with it, number 53. Watch him engage and then get off the block from Stevens. Does a great job keeping his eyes up and making the play to force the field goal.
Field goal unit on to attempt a 50-yarder. And it's blocked. Kansas recovers. And there's a return down the sideline. Jacoby Bryant to the house. Well, just when we thought Tennessee Tech's offense had something rolling, stalls out, blocked field goal, return for a touchdown, and it is all Jayhawks.
So Kansas has made plays on offense, defense, and special teams. And you know the coaching staff loves to see the effort and the discipline to stay in their gaps, make a play, get the block, and then scoop it and score it. The Jayhawks really flying high to start off this game.
61 yards on the block, scoop and score for Jacoby Bryant. And another look at it here, Jay.
Right up the middle, the push. And then it was the effort, getting the hand up to knock it down. And then Bryant does the rest, and good job blocking downfield as well to just get the extra lane for Bryant to get through to the end zone.
It was Jeremy Robinson on the block, Bryant on the 61 yards all the way back. Every facet right now, Jay. Offense is clicking, defense is playing well, and clearly special teams is doing its job too.
Yeah, Marvin Grant running down the sideline with Bryant, but all three phases have made plays. And this is the momentum Kansas felt in the offseason to start off this ball game. It's carried over. And it looks like they're playing with that extra gear, more speed than we saw last year, having success early on.
Robinson the block, Bryant the return, 21-0 Kansas. It's a little over 10 minutes into this game. So Tennessee Tech takes over, the ball at their own 25, down 3 touchdowns. More exciting Big 12 college football action coming your way tomorrow with a full slate of games. First at 2 Eastern, 1 Central as Iowa State hosts SEMO. Then at 7 Eastern, 6 Central, number 10 Baylor takes on Albany. And Kansas State hosts South Dakota, followed by Texas Tech and Murray State in the nightcap at 8 Eastern. For more information about all these games as well as other sports across the Big 12, sign up now at espnplus.com/Big12 now.
First and 10, Tennessee Tech at the 25.
Lem Wash is in the game, the backup quarterback for Tennessee Tech. He takes off on the first play, spins away from one, but just gets back to the line of scrimmage before Miller, the senior linebacker, makes the stop.
When Wash is a running threat, looks like he's heading over to the sideline just to give Oatsville a spell, a different look to the Kansas defense.
No gain on the play.
Something that had to be probably to regather, right? Regroup a little bit after the blocked field goal for a touchdown.
Well, and after that last drive, they did a nice job moving the ball down the field. They've got to just kind of find a way to stay fluid on offense, mix in their personnel groups. In the passing game, they had success with the quick intermediate throws.
Gist. Nowhere again. He gets swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. Barry Hell leads the charge.
Ball carrier number 21, David Gist.
Barry Hill just filled the lane.
First in on the tackle.
Second time we've called his name. Recognized the run, and there was no hesitation. Very aggressive as he went through to make the tackle.
Brian Borland, his defensive coordinator, said he thinks that he might be the most improved guy on the entire defense from last year to this year.
Yeah, he's the guy that really caught the coaching staff's eye in the preseason practices, and it's paying off here early on.
3rd and 9. Oatsvall getting chased out of the pocket. Dives for the first down marker, but he's about 2 yards shy, and it's 4th down coming up. Miller with his second stop of the drive.
Rich Miller, the leader of the defense, hustling over. Playing quarterback right in the middle of the field, getting everybody lined up. He saw it was a run by Oatsvall, and he hustled over to the sideline and beat him over to the first down marker. The Golden Eagles fall 2 yards short.
Dwayne Alexander's club now 0 for 4 on 3rd down, and it's the 3rd 3 and out in the first 4 drives for the Golden Eagles. Again, surrendering the football back to Kansas with still some time left in the first quarter. Bigelow the punt. Grimm waving for the fair catch, and he fumbled it. Muffed the punt, and it's recovered by Tennessee Tech. The Golden Eagles get exactly what they need.
That's the break they were looking for. Nothing has gone their way. Special team, just a simple punt, good hustle down the field. And then you're taught just to stay away, but be aware. And as this ball dropped to the ground, they jump on it. It's off the leg of Downing. They're there for the recovery, setting up the offense with outstanding field position.
Grimm is the one that muffs it. Ross, the recovery. And Tennessee Tech, the huge break, and the football starting at Kansas's 34-yard line. Man, did they need that.
Well, they've got to regroup here. The last drive didn't go their way, but now you've got an opportunity to put points on the board.
Oatsvall gets dragged down for a sack, and Kansas's defense with a response. Sampson takes him down. A guy, Jay, that was 260 pounds a year ago, up to 290 right now, and the size is paying off.
He's got power inside, good technique and leverage, getting underneath the offensive line, and then with the quickness to get into the backfield, there was nowhere to go.
2nd and 14 after the Sampson sack. Hunter Barnhart, the tight end, in motion. Off the option. Just squeezing through a couple. Takes a tumble inside the 30-yard line. Hayden Hatcher, the tackle.
There's a beautiful block on the outside by the tight end, Hunter Barnhart. He's an important piece of this offense. The West Coast style they run, the tight ends are going to be involved, and he was on the outside, just held up his man and played a path for just to run down.
Yeah, 11 yards, and with Barnhart being a blocker, they were telling us yesterday, or a couple days ago when we were meeting with the coaching staff, that, hey, there's a lot of tight ends that don't like to block. Hunter Barnhart's the opposite of that. That guy loves to stand in there and block.
And they love how physical that group is.
Again, they run the option. It's kept by Oatsvall. He's got the first down, and he gets tripped up just outside the 10 by O.J. Burrows.
Oatsvall has deceptive speed as he gets the ball out of the shotgun. Doesn't make the pitch over to Gist. He saw Hatcher playing the run. Wide open gap down the middle of the offensive line, creating a path. Isaac Cross, the center, leading the way up front.
I know they don't want this guy to get hit a lot, but a lot of the success is when he takes off with his legs.
Well, I think everyone's keying on Gist, so it's giving opportunities for Oatsvall in the running game.
Keep it on the grounds. Gist gets 1, maybe 2. David Gist, a second-team all-conference guy a season ago, and the first guy in Tennessee Tech history since 2007 to have 4 straight 100-yard rushing games. They want him to get as many touches as they can.
Yeah, he's their guy. I mean, they trust him, and on this drive, he's been good moving the chains forward for the offense.
21-0 the Kansas lead. Tennessee Tech driving, though, to start the second. Well, that's how you start a college football season if you're the Kansas Jayhawks, up 21-0 through one quarter, Jay.
Well, they're feeling good. Offense, defense, special teams have all made plays, but the Golden Eagles have an impressive drive right now trying to get their first points on the board.
Well, the crazy thing, too, when you look at these total stats, the very first thing, it's really not all that much of a difference right now in the total yards. The problem has just been haven't been able to finish off those drives.
Yeah, the special teams mistake on the block field goal. Had a missed opportunity, and now a little trick play here with the offensive lineman split out to the wide side.
Prior to the snap, Kansas has called their first charge timeout.
Well, before we even get a snap, Kansas takes a timeout.
Yeah, they had old number 77, Trevor Stevens, the left tackle, lined up in the slot. You don't see that every play.
Dwayne Alexander trying to pull out all kinds of stops. Start of the second quarter here with Kansas up 21-0. If you're just joining us, this is what Kansas did in the first quarter. A lot of scoring.
Yeah, they do it through the air. Jalen Daniels 3 for 3. They mixed in the running game. Devin Neal capped off the drive with a good run up the middle, getting into the end zone. And then here's the explosive plays over the top. Daniels hit Quentin Skinner, then Highshaw running behind the offensive line. Just been getting pushed up front. Finishes it off for 6.
Lance Leipold also got a blocked field goal return for a touchdown as well from his team. Oatsvall keeps it. Nowhere to go again. Third down coming up for the Golden Eagles.
I know we heard about the team speed, the improvement from the Kansas defensive coaches, and you can see it out on the field. These guys flying around, it just looks like they're playing so aggressive and free. They're reading their keys and getting to the ball quickly.
Brought in 14 transfers out of the transfer portal from the FBS, and a lot of them are on the 2 deep for Kansas, a lot of them on defense, guys that they really want to get involved.
And an opportunity for those guys to come into the program and get playing time and earn it in camp, and it's showing well.
3rd and 9. Oatsvall looks on a slant, and he left it a little bit short. He was looking for Metrius Fleming, but it's 4th down.
The Golden Eagles have to take advantage inside of the red zone. You've got to get touchdowns. The defensive line getting pressure. Looked like the ball got tipped, actually. They failed to convert.
Might have been a little miscommunication there, too, between Logan and Burrows. He was open. Just left it a little short on the throw. And Tennessee Tech gets on the board with a 28-yard field goal. Golden Eagles score, still down big here early in the second quarter after the Parker field goal. Tennessee Tech gets on the board here early in the second quarter, down 21-3. Here's an overview of what Tennessee Tech is. Cookeville, Tennessee, out of the Ohio Valley Conference, and in their 100th season, Jay, of playing varsity football.
Yeah, they're picked 5th in the preseason poll, and an opportunity for them, I think, to have a really good year in the league.
This guy is dangerous in the return game. Kenny Logan Jr., and he gets tripped up near the 40-yard line. He was lethal a season ago, averaging nearly 30 yards per kickoff return.
Oh, no, he's an NFL prospect. I love when you've got a star safety that's also going to play special teams. He's got the speed, the vision. It helps out his offense with pretty good field position to start off the drive.
You know him for his defense. Led all safeties in America last year in tackles with 113, but as a 38-yard kickoff return to start this drive. Daniels with a clean pocket, stepping up, airs it over the middle. It's Grimm again down to the 35-yard line.
The offensive line holding up front. Look at the pocket. Clean. Daniels has all day to throw, and Grimm's the best route runner. Goes across the middle, quickly pivots with yards after the catch.
Jaquez McGowan, the freshman, with the tackle after a 27-yard catch from Grimm. And Daniels goes over 100 yards passing. Daniels surveying again, swings it out to Thomas as running back. Shakes away from a couple and makes something out of nothing. Even if that something is only about a yard, at least it wasn't a loss.
Hey, that's what you've got to do. Find a way. Just get back to the line of scrimmage. And Kai Thomas had nowhere to go, but his elusiveness allowed him to get back and pick up a yard. How about Jalen Daniels? He looks in control of the offense, very comfortable throwing the ball, reading the defense, and throwing the outlet pass to his running back.
His first start of last season was when they were 1-8 at the time, came in against Kansas and led that shocking upset, 57-56 in overtime. It was a huge spark for them at the end of the year. Neal, his first touch since his 19-yard touchdown early in the first quarter. McGowan with the stop.
It's a zone read to Neal. Now, we haven't seen Daniels pull the ball and carry it himself, but he does have speed, and that's an extra dimension that he brings to the offense.
Don't mistake what he wants to do, though. He told us yesterday, you said, hey, when you get flushed out of the pocket, are you looking to run? He said, no, I became a quarterback because I want to throw the deep ball. I'm always looking to throw.
Yeah, he didn't say he was looking to throw. He said the deep ball. He's looking to go all the way, and I loved his attitude and his confidence.
Good reason for having some with the first half he's having. Third and 7, zips it to the sideline, and it's pulled in by Lawrence Arnold for a first down.
I keep mentioning the offensive line. The protection up front is immaculate. I mean, these guys are just building a wall, and Daniels, plenty of time, tight spiral, and Arnold picks up a first down right over on the sideline.
Got 13 when he needed 7. Arnold picks up the first down, and it's been a flawless start for Jalen Daniels. 6 of 6 for 118 yards. Savion Morrison lined up in the backfield for the first time for Kansas. He gets the football, shakes one, has the first down, and gets ripped down just outside of the 5-yard line by Josh Relaford.
When we talk about these players being in a groove, how about the play callers? Andy Kotelnicki, the offensive coordinator, mixing in the run and the pass. Morrison has a wide open gap to run through. Outstanding job. Mason Fairchild, the tight end. Bryce Cabledew, the right tackle, just clearing a wide open lane in the running game, and Morrison takes advantage of it.
Be fun to be a running back in this system, wouldn't it?
I mean, right now, with these guys coming in and out of the ballgame, you're seeing their talent, but the up front play by the O-line has just been so good.
It's Morrison again. Just a short run here on the tackle by Daniel Rickert. Savion Morrison went to Edison High School in Tulsa, Oklahoma, where he broke Spencer Tillman's record for most rushing yards in a season of more than, or in a career with more than 4,000. A talented guy in Spencer Tillman. Won a Super Bowl with the 49ers back in the day. Morrison stays on the field here on 2nd and goal. Morrison, 3rd straight carry, and he's down to the 2-yard line.
Stop by number 18, South Carolina.
Jay, they said that they plan on running 4 or 5 different running backs. They've already gotten to 4, with Morrison being the most recent of them. They said if we can get every guy between 7 and 10 carries, that's what we think is a success tonight. We want everyone involved in game 1.
But Morrison, this is his drive. Saw him nodding his head. You know that he wants the ball in this situation. He wants to punch it into the end zone.
He's going to get the chance. And he gets stacked up at the line of scrimmage to bring up 4th down. Wow, what a stand by Texas, or Tennessee Tech's defense.
Big number, 99. Great job up the middle. Jacorian Wren 5'11", 295, plugs the gap, forces a 4th down. There was nowhere to run.
Well, offense looks like they might be staying on the field.
In this situation, you don't want to run to the sideline and kick a field goal. You want to punch it in and have the confidence from your coaching staff that you can do it.
All right, before the 4th and goal, though, Kansas calls its 2nd timeout. Lance Leipold wants to talk things over before he decides on going for it or kicking the field goal. The field goal would be shorter than what an extra point would be, and you know the offense is doing everything they can to try to stay on the field.
I guarantee you in the huddle, if there was a vote, it would be 11 for 11 that would want to go for it here. Now, that always isn't the wise decision, but I think the coaching staff will agree Daniels walking out on the field. And, you know, this is one of those statement drives where 4th down, you know, find a way to get it into the end zone.
Kansas was worst in the Big 12 last year on 4th down, converting at only a 37% clip. Morrison goes out. Highshaw comes in as the running back. Fourth and goal from the 2. Fade route to the end zone, and it's dropped. They were looking for Lawrence Arnold. It falls incomplete, and Tennessee Tech gets a stop on 4th and goal from the 2.
I like the play design. You bring Fairchild over to the slot, lined up next to Lawrence Arnold, then goes back to the side, and then it's the lob pass over the top. But how about the defensive pressure by Trace Danley to get the ball back to the offense?
Well, the good news for Tennessee Tech is the defense gets a stop on 4th and goal, Jay. The bad news is the drive starts at their own 2.
Well, you got a long way to go. You just have to find a way to give yourself a little bit of room here. Try to get the ground game going.
Whew. Not a lot of room there, right against the goal line. David Gist had nowhere. Barry Hill on the tackle, 2nd and long.
The Jayhawks looking to get a safety, and they were close. The defensive pressure, the front 7, they've really been focused on stopping the run, being aggressive, filling their gaps. It's been a tough go for the Golden Eagles on the ground.
It's Kansas's 6th tackle for loss already in this first half. Second and 11 from the 1. Gist stretching outside and gets back to the 1-yard line. There is a flag. Have we seen any of those tonight? It's the first one.
This has been amazing. First flag of the ballgame. Usually you see too many, and we've been lucky here. First flag of the game in the 2nd quarter.
After the play is over, there's fouls by both teams. Unsportsmanlike conduct number 7 of the defense. Unsportsmanlike conduct number 3 of the offense. Correction, 3 here, 7 here. Those fouls offset. The down count, 3rd down. First players, those fouls.
So a pair of unsportsmanlike conducts. Demetrius Fleming for Tennessee Tech. Mello Dotson for Kansas, and after all of that, it's 3rd and 11.
Brian Borland, the defensive coordinator for Kansas, has an opportunity to bring pressure and potentially get a safety. We've seen Kenny Logan come off the edge. We'll see if he brings the extra defender down in the box.
Kansas sends 6. They get a little bit of ground here on the 3rd down carry, but it's still 4th and long from the 6. 1 of 7 now on 3rd down today are the Golden Eagles.
It just really helps out the special teams unit, churning his legs to get the extra yardage and give them more breathing room so you're not standing at the end of the end zone trying to punt this ball.
you wouldn't know it from this drive right here, but Tennessee Tech has moved the football decently well the last couple drives before this one. They just couldn't get anything going here, backed up against their own goal. A little bit of trouble handling the snap, and it's a short punt as he just gets it away. But phenomenal starting field position for Kansas, already up 21-3.
One rusher. He gets in. It's like he tipped the ball, and now the offense is setting themselves up for an easy drive here with the short field.
Donovan Gaines got the pressure, and it's just a 16-yard punt. Look at that. You're right. One guy. That's it.
One rusher. Right off the edge. Clips the ball. Snap a little bit low.
So Kansas takes over at the 22-yard line. Highshaw zigzagging through. Gets down inside the 20 before Ty Carter with the tackle. That's Gaines right there, one with the pressure, forced the shallow punt to give Kansas this fantastic starting field position.
Redshirt sophomore linebacker doing his job on special teams, making play.
How about the special teams today for Kansas? Blocked field goal return for a touchdown, nearly a blocked punt here, but still getting great starting field position.
Third phase of the ballgame is so important. That's what winning teams do. They're solid in all three phases.
Daniels now 7 of 7, completing it to Highshaw. And the running back gets met right near the line of scrimmage by Jamal Boyd.
Daniels so accurate with the football and making the right decisions. He's looking deep. If he doesn't like it, he goes to his outlet underneath. Just complete command of the offense. Look at the shifts, the motions, two tight ends in the ball game.
3rd and 1. Highshaw ducks through and gets a first down.
That's so tough if you're a defender, seeing all the pre-snap looks, then the motions. You've got to change your calls, make sure you know your assignment kind of on the fly. And Highshaw takes advantage of the two tight end set, getting the extra yardage.
He picks up the first down, now goes out of the game, and Kai Thomas, the Minnesota, transfers in. First and goal for the Jayhawks. Already up 21-3 and a chance to add on to it. Thomas yanked down by Carlisle. That's a guy in Kai Thomas who, with Minnesota last year, was their lead back, ran for more than 800 yards, and in fact was the offensive MVP of the Guaranteed Rate Bowl against West Virginia.
144 yards in that game. That really jumped out. You know, for Kansas to get him, build the depth in the backfield, you knew he was going to bring energy to the offense.
They said by looking at him, you probably think he's a perimeter guy, but loves to run between the tackles. Casey, the tight end, in motion. Thomas again tries to cut inside, and he's taken down behind the line of scrimmage, all the way back at the 10-yard line by Josh Relaford.
Ty Carter, the safety, he didn't make the play, but he came to the outside and forced Thomas to redirect. And that's what allowed Relaford and the teammates on the defensive side for the Golden Eagles to come over and make the play.
Losing 4 yards on the play. Tennessee Tech has been pretty good when Kansas has gotten it in the red zone today. Got the 4th down stop last drive. Now Daniels takes off, skates by one, and he scores! An 11-yard touchdown by the quarterback, Jalen Daniels, and he is having a near flawless first half.
I love the play call. This is a designed run all the way. Daniels looks over towards the right and then it's just time to show off, use your athleticism, and this is the dimension that he brings to this offense. We haven't seen him run the ball a lot tonight, but we'll see him throughout the year in the ground game, I believe, really expand this offensive playbook.
28-3 after the touchdown run from Jalen Daniels. All Kansas here in the first half. Big lead for Kansas nearing halftime here in Lawrence, up 28-3 on Tennessee Tech. And Lance Leipold went out and got himself some transfers. He won the transfer portal with 14 guys out of the FBS coming to the team, and here's a breakdown of the roster. And as you can notice in year two, Jay, a lot of freshmen and sophomores. He's trying to get some young guys, his guys, into the program.
70 of them. And you talk about those transfers. The coaching staff told us, said, hey, we feel like we hit on the new guys coming into the program with the experience they're going to bring in. But they also feel very good about the recruiting classes that they've been able to get with the freshmen, the sophomores now, the way they've been able to develop and what they're going to be able to do in the future.
Fleming and Gists back to return the kick, and it's a touchback here to start the drive for Tennessee Tech with 3:23 to play before halftime. Transfer portal has just been massive, and it's growing year in and year out, Jay. More than 3,000 guys entered the portal last season.
It's unbelievable. You look at that number, you're like, wow. I mean, that is really a shock initially, but then you also think about how many of these guys are coming into new situations, bettering themselves, and really finding positive playing time.
That's one of them right there. And Lonnie Phelps, defensive end from Miami of Ohio, is a two-time all-conference selection in the MAC, played against Lance Leipold when he was the head coach at Buffalo a couple of years back. And Oates' ball has nowhere, and right on cue, it's Phelps with the sack.
We heard you talking, Noah. That's perfect technique by Phelps. Just getting into the backfield with one arm making a play.
Had 9.5 sacks last year at Miami of Ohio, third most in the Mid-American Conference. And he's got #1 in a Kansas uniform.
It was a rip move to the inside. He stayed low, and then his right arm was able to bring around Oates' ball, and then was finally able to bring him to the ground.
7th tackle for loss by this Kansas defense in the first half. Second and 16. Javion Allen, the backup running back who played all defense last year, and they decided to flip him over to the running back spot because they thought they could get a lot out of him there.
Another play over on the edge by Lonnie Phelps. 2 for 2 on the drive. He's the guy that defensive coordinators in the Big 12 are going to have to game plan for. He has the burst off the edge. He's a physical player. It's the energy that he's brought in from Miami of Ohio to this defensive line group.
And he's got the dance moves, too.
Yeah, he can do it all.
That looked like you at dinner last night.
Yeah.
Oates' ball is lined out as a wide receiver here, as they had Lem Wash, the backup quarterback, lined up there. And Dwayne Alexander just doing anything he can to give Kansas a different look. And a timeout taken by Tennessee Tech. We'll take it with them. Less than 2 to go before the break. There is some buzz and excitement going on in Lawrence, Kansas this season for year 2 under Lance Leipold, and these students are loving it, Jay.
Yeah, they're having so much fun. I mean, look at them right now. They're having a great time, and they should be having a good time. Their offense has been outstanding. The defense is flying around, and we've seen the special teams unit making plays.
And it's 3rd and 17 now after a couple negative plays to start this drive. Lem Wash, the backup quarterback, gets smacked by Phelps, who made 3 tackles on this drive.
He's so compact, 6'3", 245 pounds. He plays with power, the run and the pass. 47 up at the top of the screen, just a swing move, and he's there to make the play and get off the field.
Tennessee Tech, it has been Tough sledding for them on third down. 1 of 8 now. "11 of the 30 plays today for Tennessee Tech have gone for a loss of yardage or no gain today. This Kansas defense has just been difficult to deal with.
And that's where the concern was up front, if the offensive line could protect his athletes and depth on the defense. And right now that depth is really showing through. Different guys stepping up and making plays.
Yeah, the guy with the hardest job today is my spotter, Zach Hoffner. Lance Leipold told us, hey, your spotter better be on it tomorrow because we are going to be rolling dudes in and out of the game.
Well, that's something he didn't say last year because they didn't have the numbers.
Yeah.
But this year with the transfers and the young guys stepping up, they feel like they're in a much better position.
Yeah, he said when we brought in the second stringers last year, it was a big drop-off. This year, it's not at all. Good punt here from Bigelow. Grimm tracks back for the fair catch at the 37-yard line, and the offense still has 136 to work with. Coming up at halftime, a closer look at year 2 of Kansas football under head coach Lance Leipold. Saturday's slate of games around the Big 12 and some first half recap and analysis from our game here in Lawrence. That guy is creating a change in culture here in Lawrence.
He's brought discipline and stability. You hear him talk, you hear the players, how much they respect him and how it's a family atmosphere and a player-led program, and you just know with his pedigree, he's going to bring the winning ways here to Lawrence.
His offense already up 28-3 and a chance to add on more. The first catch of the day by Kevin Terry, the Texas Tech transfer. Jamal Boyd with a punishing hit afterwards.
And still plenty of time, around 1:22 on the clock, playing up tempo.
Daniels again throws it outside, and it's the tight end Mason Fairchild with his first snag.
This is an excellent opportunity for the coaching staff to see live action, the 2-minute drill, see how the guys react here going into the halftime break.
Haven't seen Kansas go up tempo today until this drive with time running down. Daniels zips it again to the far sideline. Nice catch by Arnold as he squeezes through and then gets crushed by Boyd at the 40-yard line.
It looked like Arnold may go to the outside to get out of bounds, but he just split the defenders and goes up, gets the first down.
Daniels again to that sideline. Arnold once again, and enough to move the chains on a pickup. Up 10 yards. Daniels hit as he throws, still somehow completes it to Terry.
Daniels stood strong in the pocket, kept his eyes downfield. He knew he was going to get hit, but he was able to get it out before the contact was made.
This guy has looked so good all game long.
Just composed, patient. And Devin Neal had a huge pickup going in. There's a blitzing linebacker coming through. We'll see over to the outside. Arnold with his big body, 6'3", 200 pounds, making a play, taking the shot, getting right back up, and then Daniels looking downfield as he gets hit, stays strong, and Terry sits in the zone coverage to make the catch.
On this drive alone, Jalen Daniels 5 for 5 with 47 yards through the air, and with 39 seconds to go, they have the football at the 16-yard line and a chance to add on.
First and 10, Kansas at the 16.
Daniels make it 6 completions on this drive. Devin Neal slips past one and all the way down near the 5-yard line. Under 20 seconds left in the first half. Daniels, end zone, first incompletion of the drive. He was looking for Quentin Skinner. There is a flag here, though, the referee's discussing. It was Trace Danley on the coverage.
Pass interference, number 9, defense. That ball we placed at the 2-yard line, first down.
When Quentin Skinner, 6'5", he's the threat in the red zone. They threw up the fade. We'll see the pull right there on the left arm. Good call. That ball was trailing out of bounds, but Skinner's the guy to highlight in the red zone.
They like him on third down. They like him in the red zone. To the goal line, and it's caught by Fairchild for the touchdown. That was the 2-minute drill to perfection.
The execution, getting everybody involved, and then you finish it off with the tight end group who's been doing a nice job blocking tonight. Mason Fairchild just flares out of the backfield. The ball placed right in his lap by Daniels.
Borchilla on the point after is through. 7 seconds left in this first half, and Jalen Daniels just led the charge on a 7-play, 63-yard drive that took 1 minute and 29 seconds.
He made it look easy. Protection up front, and then Fairchild going towards the pylon, catches it, immediately turns upfield to dive across the goal line.
I think Kansas might put some points on the board this year.
With the talent they have on the outside, the ability to use the tight ends, the depth at the running back position, with the protection up front, you say, hey, where can they attack? And they can attack in every way. There's no weaknesses that I see so far in the first half. They're not a one-dimensional group. And Andy Kotelnicki, the offensive coordinator, said, hey, we want to be very balanced. This is a pro-style offense. It's going to be very fun for every position group to get involved.
Yeah, he told us we want to be as close to 50-50 as we can on the run and the pass. You and I thought as good at the running backs as they have that it might be a little more 60-40, 65-35, but see Jalen Daniels throwing the football today. Maybe 50-50 is the right number.
Well, and the key is protecting the football. No turnovers, and Daniels has had explosive plays through the air, but he's been very smart with his decision-making.
Here's Fleming on the return, has a little bit of a seam to the 30-yard line, and 1 second left in this first half. So on that drive, Jalen Daniels, 7 of 7 through the air. That one incompletion was because of a penalty, so that got wiped off. 7 of 7, 59 yards and a touchdown.
He's in a groove. I mean, right now he's just seeing the field, and they were playing fast, but it was like the game was coming slow to him. I mean, he was just standing in the pocket, reading the defense, and making right decisions.
Tennessee Tech takes the knee to bring us to halftime. And a almost perfect one at that for the Kansas Jayhawks in the season opener. Jalen Daniels and company all over the place. Up 35-3 with a touchdown right before halftime. Jayhawks getting it going here in the season opener, up 32 at the break.
It's been over a decade since the Jayhawks have boasted a winning season in football. For athletic director Travis Goff, finding a coach who could turn the tide was more than just a necessity, it was personal.
My journey and kind of first taste of college athletics was a passionate Jayhawk growing up as a kid in Dodge City, Kansas, and I certainly recognized the magnitude of this hire. This had to be a different moment in our time and in our history. And, you know, quite honestly, coming out of a pandemic like everybody, we needed some morale boosting on what Kansas football could become.
I think when I look back in the early days when I first started to get into coaching, it was because, of course, the love of the game, the love of sports, and trying to stay involved in athletics. But it quickly probably turned to taking on the challenge in and of itself to build a program.
Building programs from the ground up is part of Leipold's DNA. After establishing Wisconsin Whitewater as a D3 powerhouse and winning 6 national championships, he took the University of Buffalo from a 2-10 record in 2016 to 3 straight bowl games and a top 25 ranking in 2020. He accomplished all this by establishing a culture built by him but maintained by the players, something Leipold is eager to instill at Kansas.
I know it hasn't been easy. I know a lot of this you don't control. And as I said before, you get to control your attitude and your effort and how you go about it each day. It's not easy. It's not going to happen like that. But we will win here. I promise you. I promise you.
The first thing we did is Coach and I sat down and met with every single athlete on our team, and we asked them, what does this program need? Not too many guys that we talked to truly believed this place could ever be successful. That's what this group needed, truly getting them to believe in it, but to believe in the process. They needed to become obsessed with the process and motivated by the outcome, not the other way around.
I probably was one of the first guys he called in his office just to sit down and just to see what his visions was and what he wanted to do with this program and how he wants this program to be player-led, where guys are holding each other accountable and we're just clicking as one. When he said that, I was just like, okay, and I was gonna see this thing through.
You know, coming in at the time that they did, basically at the end of the spring game, not really having a full football evaluation period, there was a lot to overcome early in the season. They had to figure out who could play where, who fit into the system, what could they do here that worked at their last stop.
Demand more of yourself.
Not having spring practice was a challenge, but where it started to reveal itself was the month of September against people we're playing against, and then you find out, you know, really probably in some ways that you're even further behind than you ever imagined.
Let's go, keep it up, let's go.
And that's not our players' fault. That's not the assistant coach's fault. That's just the circumstances on which this came about. But nobody's gonna feel sorry for you, so you keep moving. The thing that impressed me the most about our players, it was pretty evident that we played our best football the last 3 weeks of the season.
He's across the goal line and through. Touchdown, Kansas. The Jayhawks march 10 plays, 75
There's not too many times that teams that are 1-8 keep progressing and playing with great effort.
He dives, yes.
Very good energy.
The end zone, it's Casey. He caught it again.
And that's, to me, where it started to even show that, well, if we would have put those 15 practices into use into our system and expectations in the spring, maybe that could have shown itself a little bit earlier.
Ready? Here we go. Tight.
It's been 5 months since the Jayhawks last took the field. With the staff's first full off-season at hand, the focus is simple. Embrace the process.
Eyes back here, Coach, say we're going.
This spring is incredibly important in continuing to lay the foundation of our program holistically.
Ready, go!
Our days are our lifelines.
If we can't do it here, you ain't gonna do it in front of 100,000. Yeah!
To continue to close the gap between us where we are now and where we need to be.
For this program to be successful, you have to have great leaders up front to lead this team and make sure we're holding our foundation and keeping the standard the standard.
You have to establish a culture. You have to all speak the same language. Everybody has to know what their goal is, and everybody has to identify what they want to do.
One of the main purposes for spring ball for this team is to start to come out of our shell a little bit, see what we're really made of.
If you're not with it, you're just gonna be weeded out.
Trying to be better than we were last year, or trying to be better than say the week before.
When everyone buys in and everyone's truly holding each other accountable, that's when we can achieve big things.
We welcome you back to Memorial Stadium. It is halftime in Lawrence between Kansas and Tennessee Tech. We have a full slate of football on Saturday, Jay. Which one of these games sticks out most?
Well, 6 interesting games, but looking at the Oklahoma UTEP game, Dylan Gabriel coming in Norman with Brent Venables. Also over at Baylor, a new quarterback in Blake Shapen. And then looking at the Texas Tech ball game, the first game, the Joey McGuire era. So those are 3 to keep an eye on.
No shortage of games to watch tomorrow here in the Big 12. When we come back to Lawrence, we get you at halftime numbers here at Memorial Stadium. It is all Kansas here at Memorial Stadium in Lawrence, and our game summary is completely lopsided here. Jay, what sticks out most?
Well, a lot to like for the Kansas fans, but down at the bottom there, 3rd down conversions, 4 out of 5, and then on the defensive side, 8 tackles for loss. Kansas has been dominating, and they're looking to carry that momentum here into the second half.
Up 35-3 right now. Second half coming up next here in Lawrence. Jayhawks up big. You're watching the Big 12 now on ESPN Plus, and all Kansas through one half of play right now. The Jayhawks up 35-3 on Tennessee Tech.
Yeah, they've looked great, and the talent level from year 1, Lance Leipold, to year 2 has really stood out to me. This is a different Kansas team, and they're doing everything at a high level.
Well, take a look at Jalen Daniels' numbers here. Only 1 incompletion on 15 attempts, 182 yards, has a touchdown as well.
He's played perfect to me, making all the right decisions. Also in the ground game, we saw him get outside on the edge, doing a nice job leading this offense.
14 of 15, 182. Passing touchdown, running touchdown. And he's led his team to a 35-3 lead right now over Tennessee Tech. And start of the second half with Kansas on offense first, and a touchback for the Jayhawks to start at the 25-yard line. We welcome you back inside the booth here at Memorial Stadium, and this is Jay Sonholzer. I'm Noah Reed. Wow. Kansas right now is passing the eye test. Offense, it's there. Defense, it's there. Special teams, it's there.
Third phase of the ballgame, the special teams area, 2 block kicks in the running game, the running backs, with all the different players getting playing time. All 5 guys have made an impact in the defense. The way they're playing, how fast and physical they've been in the first half, that's where this team, I believe, is really going to take a step up this year, is on the defensive side of the ball.
Allowed just the 3 points in that first half. Here's the handoff on the first play of the quarter, and it's Thomas bulldozing his way and fighting out to the 30-yard line. One of 4 different running backs that we saw in the first half for Kansas in a loaded running back room.
They're starting off the second half on the ground, continuing to move the line of scrimmage. The offensive line has been really playing well as a unit. All 5 guys staying low up front has given the running back group an opportunity to really get, a nice lane moving forward, and they've been picking up positive yardage.
Had 5 offensive drives in the first half, 4 of them ending in touchdowns. There's Torrey Lachlan, the 5th of those running backs to get a touch today. You didn't see him at all in the first half, Jay, but the score the way it is right now, you got to imagine that a lot of these guys are going to get some time, especially some of the backups.
Well, he's an athlete, and the coaching staff, this is a crowded running back room, but they were really pleased with his development during fall camp, and he gets a carry here. He's going to be a guy that's going to compete for playing time.
Scored 2 touchdowns against Duke last season, so a guy who gets time for them. Neal squeezing past a couple. No, rather Daniels kept it. And a huge run for Jalen Daniels.
The ball carrier is the quarterback, number 6, Jalen Daniels. First down.
We will see the zone read throughout the season, only a couple times tonight, but he pulls it, the defensive end crashes down, and then it's the speed of Daniels. Wide open lane to run. They get it right around midfield, but a good job diagnosing the defensive line and then making the correct decision.
A 21-yard run for the quarterback, who has had himself a great night tonight. Thomas tried to cut back towards the middle, but had nothing going on that play. Christian Cantrell with the stop.
No, this is a tough atmosphere for Tennessee Tech coming into the ball game. You look up after the halftime break, you're down by 32 points. I want to see how they fight in the second half and how these guys continue to compete. This is a good team, the Ohio Valley Conference. I believe they're going to really have a nice year. But tonight, you're facing a deficit. This is where you learn a lot about yourself.
18 starters back between the offense and the defense this year for Tennessee Tech. So they've got the guys to come back this season. Another handoff. Evan Neal right up the middle. Sets up a 3rd and short.
He ran behind his tight end, Jared Casey, who also plays fullback, and he just demolished his man. Pancake block clearing the path.
It's got to be fun to run behind a guy like that, isn't it?
Well, you just watch him just clean out a path, and you see it out of the corner of your eye, and you know that's going to look good on film the next day when the coaching staff sees your blockers being physical.
5 of 6 on 3rd down today is Kansas. Highshaw. Oh, what a move. Spins past another. Highshaw with a phenomenal run down to the 26-yard line.
First down, Kansas.
I want to watch this replay again. I mean, look at this move. A couple spin moves, physical play, staying low, keeping the feet moving, and then a spin, and then he refuses to go down. And look up front, the blocking. On the backside, Casey and Fairchild, both tight ends, clearing the way, and then the energy of the running back group. Highshaw finishing it off.
13 yards and a 1st down. Here's the option. Daniels tosses late, ball's on the ground, and it's covered up at the 30-yard line. He was trying to get it to Stephen McBride. Gave it up a little late.
That's Ty Carter making the stick. Laid a good hit on Daniels. Jayhawks lucky to recover.
Might be the first mistake today for the Jayhawks.
There are very few plays they would like to have back.
Quick throw, it's McBride. This time for positive yardage. Down inside the 25-yard line.
Yeah, the coaching staff told us, you're going to play wide receiver, you better block. And Douglas Emilian on the right side was really fighting over on the sideline to help out McBride get a couple extra yardage.
Yeah, there's Emilian right there. He's a Minnesota transfer and a guy that they said probably wouldn't see as much time today, but plays like that, he's fighting for more time.
There's the wide receiver coach, Terrence Samuel, patting on the helmet, telling him good job helping out your teammate.
3rd down. Daniels, clean pocket over the middle, and it falls incomplete. He was looking for Skinner, and Seth Carlisle had the coverage to bring up 4th down.
And Carlisle's been so good in run support throughout his career. He's got the loose hips. He read the passing play.
perfect spot in coverage. Forces a field goal opportunity.
Borchilla on to attempt a 40-yarder. So they felt really comfortable with him from 45 and in. And he missed it. Under 10 left in the third quarter. Tennessee Tech gets the stop. Now they come back out on offense for the first time in the third.
To fix a leaky faucet, running toilet, or backed up drain? I think you should call Kate's, a company I trust and have used for over 10 years. If you call today, the service call fee is free. Kate's Heating, Cooling, and Now Plumbing, service makes the difference.
Have you heard the scoop? $100 checking is back at Truity Credit Union. That's right, $100. Cold, hard, cash, with no strings attached. We've sprinkled on extra perks like mobile phone coverage, consumer loan discounts, identity theft services, and more. Make the switch before this offer melts away. Go to truitycu.org/checking for details. Some restrictions may apply. Truity Credit Union is federally insured by NCAA.
Disastrous detour. The chapel bells are ringing, but you're stuck, adding 10 points to a 3-point turn. This looks like a job for Smile Power. Good thing your healthy smile is revved up with grin-guarding affordable dental benefits. So your healthy smile can keep you on the right route. Unleash your Smile Power with Delta Dental.
This is Coach Lance Leipold. We're used to talking about all things football, but right now I want you to hear these 4 important words about the growing crisis of drug overdoses. One pill can kill. If you know someone at risk, be prepared with a life-saving medication called naloxone. This nasal spray can reverse the symptoms of an overdose and save lives. Get it free from the Kansas Naloxone Program by visiting kdads.ks.gov.
Need help with a leaky faucet, running toilet, or you have no hot water? Then call Kate's, the company I trust for my home's heating, cooling, and plumbing needs. If you call today, the service call fee is free. Kate's Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, service makes the difference.
Talked a lot about the running back room for Kansas this year with 5 different guys already touching the ball in this game, Jay. I think some people might recognize these names too.
Yeah, 2 of the best of all time, Gale Sayers, John Riggins. If you're a running back in that room for Kansas, you've got a tradition to uphold, and those guys, amazing college careers, and at the pro level, they were superstars.
2 of the best to ever put on a Kansas uniform. And a few really talented running backs in this game as well for the Jayhawks. A 40-yard missed field goal from Borchilla ended last drive. Tennessee Tech has the football now for the first time in this third quarter. Here's Gist. Runs into a wall of defenders for Kansas, and it's led by Berryhill. That's now 32 total plays run by Tennessee Tech's offense today, Jay. 17 of them have gone for 0 yards or less. 8 tackles for loss, 5 for no gain, 4 incompletions. This defense is really puzzling Dwayne Alexander's group.
The defensive group for Kansas is going to love the film they're going to watch. Now, the key for them is they've got to play the second half. They need to continue this effort. Play like this game is 0-0.
It's an empty backfield now for Oatsball. Gets rid of it quickly over the middle, and he threw it behind Quentin Cross.
The intended for number 2,
And for Tennessee Tech, this is tough right now. Nothing's clicking. They're down big.
But this is where you build toughness. And in the back of their minds, they have to know, hey, this is the toughest competition we're going to face all year. We need to maintain composure. We're on the road. We've got to stay together and stick with our game plan. And they came into this ballgame wanting to really have balance, spread the ball out. They just have to find a way to get protection up front, give Oatsville time to throw.
It's just 1 of 8 on third down. And their average to go on third down has been nearly 10 yards. Oatsville gets away from one and just has to quickly heave it away. Lonnie Phelps got the pressure. That guy's been all over the place, and they might be saying Oatsville's down.
It's going to be sack number 2 if it stays.
Illegal shift, offense. That penalty's declined. 4th down.
Well, that's only the second penalty of this game. Who said it was game number 1 of the season, right?
We love that. Hey, if we get that every game, that'll be phenomenal. But second sack for Lonnie Phelps coming in his first ball game, making an impact.
I was in a Miami of Ohio uniform the last few years. Played for the Red Hawks out of the Mid-American Conference. 9.5 sacks last season, 3rd most in the conference. He's already got 2 in game number 1 of this season. Great punt to Bigelow. Grimm with a fair catch near the 40. There is a flag down near the line of scrimmage. I might have jinxed it. That's 2 plays in a row.
During the kick, holding number 19, receiving team. That penalty will be forced at the end of the kick, 10 yards. 1st down, timeout.
Kansas gets the football back when we come back here in the 3rd quarter, up big. A lot to smile and cheer about tonight if you are a Kansas Jayhawk fan. 35-3. Offense has it going. Special teams scored on a blocked field goal. Defense has forced a lot of 3-and-outs, 6 of them today. The offense back out on the field with Daniels, and it's intercepted. McGowan, the freshman, pulls it in, and Tennessee Tech gets the football in Kansas territory to start the drive. The only mistake that guy has made today.
McGowan just kind of hid in coverage. He fades back, number 47. Just reads the eyes of Daniels and cuts in front of Terry. The true freshman coming in, making an impact, and what a start to his career.
They call him the Slim Reaper. 6'1", 185 pounds. Got to think as a freshman who probably puts on a little weight at some point, but Slim Reaper's not a bad name.
Yeah, and he's the guy they have high hopes for. What he's been able to do in camp. He had a really good high school career coming out of Valdosta, Georgia. And you know that his family is very proud of him right now.
Gives the team the football inside the 40-yard line to start the drive, but they get backed up with a 9th play that goes for negative yardage. David just could not get past Hayden Hatcher.
Hayden Hatcher's 5th-year senior. Another guy with a lot of experience. There's no drop-off. The coaching staff talked to us, Noah. When they go to their reserves, these guys are vying for playing time as well, so really good competition, the different position groups.
Yeah, I said they want it to be a culture of competition. Said if you don't show up and practice well one day, you could lose your job. Oatsville slides in just shy of the 1st down marker, it looks like, at the 30-yard line.
A wise move getting down. He's got good speed, getting around the edge, making the correct decision.
I'm going to go up tempo a little bit here with the 6th-year quarterback in Oatsville. Just finds a little bit of a gap, and he crawls through it down to the 22. Just the 2nd 3rd down conversion today for Tennessee Tech.
The execution up front. Nicely done by the offensive line, and just has that innate feel. The jump cut to get to the outside, and then the power to finish off the run.
Had a great year last year, ran for just over 900 yards on the season. 8 yards there and moves the chains. Miller in motion. Just again, couldn't get away from the tackle after a short pickup. Craig Young, the Ohio State transfer, with the stop.
Just there, kind of was walking as he took that ball and just waiting for the O-line to develop, and then he tried to attack the hole and picked up 3.
Oatsvall keeps it, had trouble with it, slings it out to Miller.
Pass is complete.
Wow, the former quarterback turned wide receiver helping his new quarterback out.
Stop by number 1.
Yeah, it was dangerous, but it worked.
Yeah.
It looked like it was going to be a sack, then an incompletion. Really made it happen.
Take what you can get. Just with a couple. Young with another tackle on this drive for Kansas.
If I'm Tennessee Tech out on the field, I'm saying, guys, we need a touchdown. Let's score. Let's punch it in. And we need to finish this drive.
They had a chance on short field earlier in the game, settled for 3. And now on 2nd and goal, the ball at the 7. An opportunity after the interception from the freshman McGowan to put some points on the board. Empty set after Oatsvall motions just to the far side. Oatsvall rolling, throwing, and over the top of Hunter Barnhart as tight ends.
You know what, though? I'll live with that because you don't want to be short on that pass throw, or your guy can get it or throw it over the top out of bounds. Guard and the tackle are pulling over and tried to sneak it over the top of Kenny Logan.
Kenny Logan seems to be everywhere.
He just has the feel for the ball game. And the coaches use him back at the safety position. They also move him up to the box. He's a versatile player, but he's so smart.
Second team all Big 12 selection a year ago. 8th play of the drive coming up for Tennessee Tech. And beforehand, a flag. They might give him the timeout first instead.
Prior to the false start, Tennessee Tech calls their first charge timeout. 30 seconds away.
So a timeout taken by Tennessee Tech right before the delay of game. Keeps the football at the 7-yard line. What are you thinking here? 3rd and goal from the 7, a chance to get your first touchdown of the night.
Well, for me, I think you've got 2 downs to get in the end zone. If I'm a player out there, I'm saying, guys, whatever it takes. Now, the main thing is you've got to get Oatsvall moving around. I don't want him sitting in the pocket. I want him on the run to try to elude the pass rush. Now, I'm going to find a way, just a really good route runner, great hands. I'm going to try to get him the football. I mean, he's the guy in the running game as well as the passing game we want to highlight. So those are the things I would look for.
Kenny Logan and this defense trying to get a stop, help out their offense who gave away the football at the 40-yard line. Oatsvall can't get out of the pocket, and it's Phelps again. There are multiple flags on the field. Hey, regardless of the flag, this guy's a monster.
What he's been able to do, I mean, coming off the edge, the pressure, he's put so much stress on the O-line of the Golden Eagles.
Illegal formation, more than 4 players lined up in the backfield, offense. That penalty is declined. 4th down.
So Kansas declines the penalty. It's 4th down. And you thought this might be 4-down territory, but the field goal unit is trotting onto the field.
Yeah, this is the correct call here. Bring out your kicker and try to get 3 more points on the board. There's Phelps,
who has 3 sacks tonight.
Got to stay strong up front to protect.
Devin Parker hit a field goal earlier. This one from 27 yards. And he missed it. Tough day for Tennessee Tech, and it continues here in the third quarter, down 35-3 against Kansas. Season for Kansas and Tennessee Tech here in Lawrence. Oh, look at this run from Devin Neal. There goes Devin Neal. Touchdown, Kansas. 80 yards to the house for Devin Neal on his second touchdown of the night.
Well, there's many reasons why he's on the Doak Walker watch list. Number one might be because of his speed. I mean, he just took off. He takes it the distance. The wide receiving group out front blocking all the way through. Really a great team effort. But Devin Neal, his talent is evident.
Portillo with the point after. 80 yards from Devin Neal. His offensive coordinator, Andy Kotelnick, he said he could run for mayor of Lawrence and probably win. That's how much he's liked around here.
Jared Casey making 2 blocks. Grimm as well. Lawrence Arnold gets a little shove in. And here's the vision. Just watching the play develop up front. Earl Bostic, the left tackle, clearing out his man. And then he's gone.
Well, we told you there's a bunch of running backs in this Kansas running back room, and Devin Neal, obviously, after the 80-yard run, he's the one that highlights this, but all of these guys getting touches and being productive with him.
In this room, it's competition, but all these guys are pulling for each other, and you know they're going to want playing time, so this competition is going to continue throughout the season. But Devin Neal, with that track speed that he has, it really gives him a huge edge in this offense because he's a physical player. The coaching staff trust him, but then you've got the game-breaking speed where you can take it 80 yards. That's a difference maker.
Fourth 100-yard rushing game of his career, just a sophomore. Duke, Oklahoma, and Texas last year. He ran for over 100, and he's done so today in the season opener. And the fair catch on the kickoff by David Gist. Got more exciting Big 12 action coming up tomorrow on Saturday. That's the best part about having a Friday game. You still have a whole bunch to watch on Saturday as well. This is the look at the Big 12 now on ESPN Plus coming up tomorrow. Any of those jump out at you?
Well, first of all, I'm going to sit on my couch all day long, so I'm not moving. But it's going to start off with the Iowa State game, see what Matt Campbell and his team has, and then finishing it off, I'm really excited to see Joey McGuire down at Texas Tech and see what he can do.
South Dakota came into this building a year ago and almost beat Kansas on opening night. Jayhawks needed a touchdown with 1 minute and 10 seconds left to win that game. They're also a part of that schedule tomorrow as well against Kansas State. And a
Prior to the
timeout
delay of
taken
game, Tennessee Tech called their second charge timeout.
right before the delay of game would have been called. You can handle things like a team being better than you, and that's what was supposed to happen tonight with Kansas, right? But those are probably the most frustrating things for a coaching staff is first play of a drive, and you have to use your second timeout already at the half because you weren't ready to go.
Well, those are the coaching points that when you look at this ball game on film, you're going to say, hey guys, we've got to clean this up. This game isn't going our way, but we can't have these errors, penalties, have to force ourselves to call a timeout. But these are the things we've got to clean up heading into week 2.
Fleming in motion. The handoff to Allen goes nowhere. There's a brick wall right in front of him. There is a flag.
Illegal formation, more than 4 players lined up in the backfield. Offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Yeah, I'm going to take the blame for the uptick in penalties we've seen in the second half, Jay.
Don't do that to yourself. It's not you.
I made a comment when there was one total penalty, and I think we've seen 3 or 4 since then.
We may have the record, Noah. There wasn't a penalty until 8 minutes left in the second quarter.
First and 15 at the 20.
Oatsville, quarterback, leaps forward. Gets all the penalty yardage back and then a couple more as well.
I think Oatsville is going to be a really good player in the Ohio Valley Conference. I mean, what he's been able to do here tonight, in tough circumstances, he stayed strong. He's been tough. He's a guy that's a leader. He's a winner all the way back to his high school days. I think this offense is really going to do some good things in conference play.
He's already been a winner in this league. He played at Austin Peay where he was a second-team all-conference guy. Quick pass over the middle, and it's pulled in. And right away, holding the leg after the catch. Hunter Barnhart, the tight ends. Hey, there was some big news earlier today, Jay, in college football right here on week 1 of the season. The College Football Playoff Board of Managers got together and just earlier today agreed to expand the playoff to 12 teams. It probably won't happen until 2026, but take a look at this. How cool is that?
It's going to be awesome. I think it's going to bring more competition, and the leagues, are all going to have an opportunity to get at least one team in, and teams are going to be vying for those 12 spots. So I think this is a great thing for college football.
Yeah, they're going to have 6 of the highest-ranked conference champions, as well as allowing 6 at-large teams to get into the field as well. And see there at the bottom, scheduled to start in 2026, but if things can be worked out before that, it could possibly happen.
Well, there's already a debate right now with 4 teams. It's just going to expand that debate on who can get into the playoff, and then once you get in, it's going to give more opportunities to get to the national championship game.
They were talking through kind of the logistics of it, and it sounds like potentially the top 4 seeds could get a bye and the other 8 play in the first round, but that still should be determined. Oatsville in the option kept it. Ducked down right into Caleb Sampson. Now, you had mentioned earlier the success you think this guy's going to have in the Ohio Valley Conference. 6th-year quarterback, spent a couple years at Austin Peay where he was a really good quarterback as a true freshman, was the Ohio Valley Conference Freshman of the Year, second-team all-conference guy. He's played in this level before and had a lot of success at this level.
Well, when he came into the program in January, he had experience with Wesley Satterfield at Austin Peay in this offense. He was teaching his teammates. And really, if you're down in the huddle and you've got a quarterback that's a leader but somebody that can help you out, and we talked to numerous players and they talked about his ability to help us with whether it's our play design, our route, what we're supposed to do. And he's a guy that's really made an impact with his teammates as far as teaching and helping them.
Well, his offensive coordinator, Satterfield, who you just mentioned, was the offensive coordinator at Austin Peay. So they've been together, they know the playbook. And he was telling us earlier this week that, hey, there's times where he corrects me on the playbook. He still knows my playbook just as well as, if not better than I do.
Well, this is a play calls there's a lot of verbiage, a lot of tags, and he's been able to seamlessly understand the offense.
It's Clark on his first catch, fights away from one, and gets near midfield to move the sticks on 3rd down. A couple first downs now for Tennessee Tech on this drive. Hey, week 1 of the season, it's hot out there. We're starting to see a couple guys cramp up. And that's Kenny Logan Jr. right there, who had 113 tackles a season ago, the leader of this Kansas defense. Brian Borland told us yesterday that he's made a lot of strides from last year, and I'm sitting there thinking, this guy led all safeties in the nation in tackles, and you're telling me he's made a large stride. How good's this guy going to be?
It's the little things they talked about, during the week of practice, just continuing to get sharper, continuing to find ways to improve because he's already so good. And he talked to us about the NFL scouts when they come in to visit. They're all asking about number one and getting input on Kenny Logan.
Helped off the field after the first down. Tennessee Tech trying to move the football here with a couple first downs. Oatsvall to the air, threw it a little bit behind Quentin Cross. The Purdue transfer Marvin Grant had the coverage. A guy that they're really excited about.
Yeah, rangy, big safety, 6'2", 205 pounds. Mello Dotson as well over the cornerback position. He's a guy with really good size at 6'1". This is a big secondary.
Cross in motion. Just took a big hit. Lonnie Phelps was in there, as was Marvin Grant. 3rd and long.
You can tell Kansas was ready to hit somebody else up in practice. They've come out here firing away. And to see Grant come up and run support, there was no hesitation at all.
A secondary that last year they said was really tall and skinny. These guys put on a lot of weight. They went out and got some transfers out of the portal. Feeling really good about their defensive backs. And a flag to blow it dead here on the full start.
Illegal snap, number 66. Offense, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Oh, came out of his hand wrong. Thought maybe he held on to it when everyone else moved, but wasn't the case. He tried to get rid of it.
Just slipped.
It's kind of like you on the basketball court, I think. Slipped out of your hands.
I hope you weren't going to say that, Noah.
Oatsvall trouble, slipped out of his hands too. Throws on the run, batted away. Mello Dotson. Yeah, you and I got to tour Fog Allen Fieldhouse yesterday, which was really cool. My first time there. You're just lucky they didn't let us have a basketball get out on the floor. I probably would have put on some moves.
Hey,
got a couple buckets.
I'm sure you would have. I would have taken some shots. But yeah, huge thank you to Joe Dooley, one of the assistant coaches on the Kansas basketball staff. He gave us a tour. Such an awesome experience. And Coach Dooley's one of my longtime friends. And they had a national championship last season on the basketball court. Great year.
Grim the fair catch here with 26 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Well, that's where we were at yesterday. We got to be on the inside too, which was cool.
Unbelievable facilities.
There's the championship you're talking about in 2022, the Kansas Jayhawks and Bill Self cutting down the net. It was awesome. Got to see the floor, got to go in the locker room, check that out.
I wish we could have been here for that.
Yeah, the parade right down Mass Street, the main street in downtown Lawrence. It's Jason Bean. That's a new quarterback. He was the starter last year for most of the season. Back up this year. And he hands it off to Highshaw. Finds a seam and breaks through it. Lowers the shoulder and gets ran out near midfield. The offense was also looking forward to hitting somebody, apparently.
They weren't shying away from contact at all. And Highshaw, I'll tell you what, when you see Neal go out and make a play, you want to have your opportunity. And he finishes off this run. A little stiff arm, and then down the sideline, he's looking for contact and just bulldozes his way through out of bounds.
Yeah, the last 2 runs have gone for 80 and now 26 for Kansas running backs. 4s go in the air. We're headed to the final 15 minutes here in Lawrence. It is all Jayhawks. Devin Neal over 100 yards on the ground, a couple touchdowns, and the Jayhawks are rolling here in the season opener. Yeah, it has been all rock chalk Jayhawk tonight in Lawrence. 42-3, Kansas on top of Tennessee Tech heading into the fourth quarter. And with a lead like this, the day is more than likely done for that guy. And what a season opener it was for Jalen Daniels.
83% through the air. He protected the football. He had the one that he wished he had back. Also running the football on the zone read. He was very efficient, making all the right decisions tonight.
3 running backs all in the backfield. Bean, the backup, keeps it and then gets clipped at the 41-yard line. Well, Jason Bean is not your typical backup quarterback. He was the starter for the first 9 games last season, won the starting role. Was taken back by Jalen Daniels to start this season, but that's a guy with a lot of experience as your backup.
And the coaching staff talked about how great his preseason camp was. And with his speed, the experience from starting last year, I mean, they've got a guy that the coaching staff says, hey, listen, he's a starter. It's just Jalen was so phenomenal during camp. You know, he's our guy, but they've got a very solid option of being.
Yeah, they thought he was even really good in camp too, but they just said Daniels did a lot to earn the job. Morrison cuts back up the middle, and Savion Morris gets dragged down near the 10-yard line by Hudson to save the touchdown.
First down. Morrison, you'll see shiftiness, the loose hips, and then the decisiveness.
Look at that
the
hole.
Blocking by Grimm. And then the cutback, and then the speed takes over. But look at all the Jayhawks downfield blocking, making the extra effort.
A 30-yard gain there for Morrison. The 5th time a Kansas running back has had a run over 10 yards tonight. And Lance Leipold
Kansas
calls the
has
timeout.
Called their first charge timeout. This will be a timeout on the field as well.
Take it with them here, early fourth quarter. Kansas driving and a chance to add on to a big lead. Driving once again, already at 42-3 with a backup quarterback, Jason Bean, in there. The early portion of the fourth quarter. Morrison with a seam, dives for the end zone, and he scores. The Nebraska transfer, Savion Morrison, the most recent to find the end zone.
He follows his star center, Mike Nowitzki, number 50. Dominic Puny clearing the path and then refusing to be denied. He wanted a touchdown to cap off this drive.
He had the 30-yard run to set up the great field position and then the 11-yarder to cap it off. I think they're all eating tonight.
It's true.
Borchilla with the point after to make it 49-3. Savion Morrison with a 30-yard run to set it up. 11 punching it into the end zone, and Kansas is rolling tonight. Kansas with a huge lead on Tennessee Tech right now, 49-3, and that guy, Lance Leipold, is creating a different culture around Kansas football.
He knows how to build a winner. He did it at the Division III level, national championships at Wisconsin, Whitewater, going to Buffalo. He turned around there, turned it into a bowl program, and then he inherited a tough situation here, and the future is so bright.
Is that Wisconsin Whitewater, a Division III school where in 8 seasons, he lost 6 total games and won 6 national championships. You're doing something right when you win as many national championships as games you lose. And he's in the Big 12 now with Kansas in year 2, and this is how the Big 12 preseason poll is shaking out this season. Kansas is at the bottom, and I get it, right? It's an FCS program. They're playing out of Tennessee Tech, but this isn't the same Kansas you saw last year.
They passed the eye test. And you see the talent that's on the field, the competition, these position groups, and know where this program is headed. And Lance Leipold and this staff, they are full of winners, and they're turning kind of the mindset around this is a disciplined program and a player-led program, and they're going to be winning a lot of games this year, I believe.
Well on their way to number 1 tonight as Oatsville throws that away. The top 3 teams that you saw there, Baylor, Oklahoma, and Oklahoma State, all ranked in the top 12 of the country. So it's top-heavy, but there's also a lot of depth in the Big 12 this year.
Well, and Noah, with Kansas, the last 3 ball games last year, they beat Texas, and then they really finished very closely. 2 other ball games, took West Virginia down to the wire. That's where everything changed, was at the end of last season. That momentum continued to grow in the offseason.
Yeah, they lost the final 2 games, but they had that spark after the Texas game. Pegues with his first carry. So 3rd down and long coming up now for Oatsville in this offense. And at this point, it's more about kind of just creating a little momentum, right? Getting something going that you know Kansas is the best team you're going to play all season long, but what can you get going forward into the rest of the season?
Well, and as a player, every play is on film, so you want to finish this ball game strong. And once you get through this one, you can look towards next week, and Texas A&M Commerce is the next opponent.
Oatsville has a lot of time, and it's intercepted! Eric Gilliard. The UCF transfer who said he came to Kansas this year because he felt it gave him a really good opportunity to get some NFL looks. Plays like that'll help.
Man, he's a quality player. 26 starts in the UCF program. He's known for his ability to make plays in the box. His tackling ability, he shows off his pass coverage, sifting back, turning his hips, and then the hand-eye coordination to make the play.
Oatsville was wanting Quentin Cross, but instead he got Gilliard.
First and 10, Kansas at the 25.
This is Thomas. Kai Thomas, the Minnesota transfer, had an incredible year last year for the Golden Gophers. Over 800 yards rushing, and tonight he's kind of been one of the guys that hasn't seen as much action because guys like Neal and Morrison and Hishaw are putting on a show.
He's got a pedigree coming into the program, and seeing his teammates have big nights, you know that he wants to finish off the game strong.
He's back in his home state. Hails from Kansas. He was the Gatorade Player of the Year in the state of Kansas his senior year of high school, where he ran for more than 3,000 yards. One more time to him. Thomas hopping through, and a flag in at the end of the play. And Kansas is walking backwards.
Holding, number 73. Offense, 10-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
An opportunity now for Kansas to get the 2nd unit up front in the ball game. Some of the reserves getting action. An important aspect to continue to build depth up front. That's one area where they felt like they still needed some of the younger players to come along.
2nd and 15 at the 30.
They also said there wasn't near as much of a drop-off, though, between the 1st and the 2nd unit like there was last year. Bean flushed out to the left, fires on the run, and connects. Stephen McBride holds in the pass, and it's the first completion of the day for the backup, Jason Bean.
This is such a tough throw. Bean's running full speed towards the left. He's got to throw it right, but look at him eluding the pass rush and then throws. Accurate throw in stride to pick up the 1st down.
16 yards from Bean to McBride. Set up 1st down. Back with Thomas. Oh, what a move. Carlisle yanks him down, but not before a pretty move from Kai Thomas.
There's the ability, the jump cut, and then feeling the defender come up to you, making a cut inside. It's that innate feel that he has that helps him pick up extra yardage.
They said of the 5 running backs that will see time this season, he's got the best vision of all of them. Bean in for the score. Didn't look like a backup on that drive.
When he's running the ball and it's a race, there is no doubt he is going to win. Easily trots in the end zone. And I'll tell you, Noah, we haven't seen it tonight, but I think there's going to be some opportunities this season with Bean and Daniels in the backfield at the same time. Some trick plays they can use, but they're very comfortable with their quarterback situation.
They should be. Porchilla drives it through. Kansas up 56-3. Bean with the touchdown run, the backup quarterback getting some time here in the season opener. Kansas up big. A little less than 10 minutes to play in Lawrence, and Jason Bean, the backup quarterback, with the 6th Kansas rushing touchdown of the day. And how about these numbers, Jay? 285 on the ground for the Jayhawks, averaging more than 10 yards per carry.
Well, they've controlled the line of scrimmage, and everybody has had a part in it tonight. The offensive line has done their job. So in meetings this week, the goal was, hey, we've got to win up front. They accomplished the goal.
I think that was kind of the biggest concern too for Tennessee Tech, is they knew they were outsized in the trenches, and they were kind of worried that Kansas may have the ability to run the football all over them. Touchback, Tennessee Tech football at the 25. Fun opening weekend so far. Here's a look at the Big 12 scoreboard. Breaking news, Oklahoma State's going to put up some points this year.
Spencer Sanders had over 400 yards through the air, 4 touchdowns. He also rushed for 57 yards. He was amazing. That's a really good Central Michigan team that won 9 games last year. Then West Virginia had the heartbreak game last night, but I think JT Daniels is going to do big things this season for the Mountaineers.
Backyard brawl came down to the end. Pitt wins it. Right now going on ESPN, we got TCU in Colorado. That game was supposed to start about an hour ago, but a weather delay. They just recently got started. Pegues on the touch. And down to the 30 for 5 yards. You don't have to turn it over to that game, though, until we're done here, right?
You're not allowed to.
That's what I thought.
Stay here. Yep. We got to finish this one through.
Number 7, Arizona Castillo.
Number 8, Quentin Lassiter.
Pegues one more time, lowering the shoulder down near the marker. And Lorenzo McCaskill, the Louisiana transfer, getting some playing time here late in this one.
You know, you look at the Big 12 schedule, there's 3 new coaches in the league, but a lot of new quarterbacks. So it'll be interesting to see these guys debut tomorrow. But I'll tell you, the teams that have returning solidified starters, Kansas is one of them.
Yeah, no doubt.
Feel very good about their position.
Jalen Daniels, just 19 years old. Junior quarterback for Kansas, was phenomenal tonight. Quentin Cross, the #1 wide receiver on this team, hasn't gotten a lot of touches tonight, and they're just trying to get him with the ball on the run there.
Quick and shifty. All Ohio Valley Conference. Looking to have a big year.
He said he's by far the most explosive guy on their offense. Like to mix it up, not just get him the ball with the pass, but also they want to run him sometimes. Quickly tossed out to Pegues. And he's stacked up near the 35-yard line, got back to the line of scrimmage. Hey, what's impressed you most about Kansas tonight?
I think the competition that we've seen out in the field, because you can tell somebody makes a play and then somebody else, comes in that position group and they want to make plays as well. It's evident in the running back core. But you look at the transfers and who's made, an impact tonight. Lonnie Phelps on the defensive line. He's going to be somebody that's going to create havoc in the Big 12. Craig Young, so many high hopes for him coming in from Ohio State. He's had a really good game. And you just see the team speed overall really at another level from last year.
Here's a big play out of the backfield. O.J. Ross gets the first down to move the chains on the screen pass.
Number 10, O.J. Ross.
Number 7, Lorenzo McCaskill. Oatsball tucks it, keeps it, and lunges inside the 40-yard line. Trying to get this guy a little more comfortable too. Last full season he played was 2018, and Dwayne Alexander said we expect there to be a little bit of a learning curve with him, and even though he's a sixth-year senior, probably gonna have some game rust to get out of it.
Yeah, there's nothing like game reps, and you can practice and have all that competition, but at the end of the day, you're not getting hit in practice.
Yeah.
This is when the live action really helps you, and this game is going to provide really good experience, but learning tools that he can carry throughout the season.
What have you seen from him tonight?
He looks comfortable in the pocket. I think he's an accurate thrower for football. He just had to be on the run tonight because he's facing pressure. But once they kind of settle in to lead play, I think he's going to have a big year. And there's weapons on the outside he'll be able to utilize and find the right coverage and make sure he puts his team in the correct position with the different play calls.
Yeah, Fleming's probably been his best target tonight, the one who just had the most recent catch. He's got Willie Miller, the former quarterback. He's got Quentin Cross, a handful of running backs. Has to heave it on the run, and there was nobody in the vicinity except for a Kansas defender.
Pass is incomplete.
It was Jarrett Paul, and there is a flag.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 7. Defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
So Lorenzo McCaskill gets called for roughing the passer, and that helps this Tennessee Tech drive. McCaskill, a guy that got in here a little bit later than everybody else. We talked about the 14 FBS transfers, but he didn't come in to the fold until August. About a month ago is when he showed up on campus. Oatsball on the slant. He finds Miller, who gets upended right after the catch. Edwin White Schultz put on the hit, but Miller with the catch. And got near the sticks at 2nd and 1.
Nice little hesitation by Miller, and then he takes the contact. When you go over the middle, you know you're going to get drilled, and he focused all the way in. How about the throw from Oatsball? He hung in there tough, little sidearm action as well. Accurate ball.
Best chance they've had at scoring today. Oatsball and a pass interference, as Ross was hit before the ball was anywhere near him. It's Gavin Potter.
Holding, number 19, defense. That penalty will be forced half the distance to the goal. Automatic, first down.
That's a guy, too, and Gavin Potter, who played a ton last season, was 3rd on the team in tackles, but because Craig Young, the Ohio State transfer, comes in and plays the same linebacker position as him, he's having to fight for a little bit of time this year.
Yeah, he's going to have to fight for playing time out in the field, but also that competition helps out the special teams unit. Potter played so well in that aspect last year. Expected of him the same thing this year as well.
Flip to Price for the touchdown, and it's the first touchdown of the night for Tennessee Tech. Heath Price getting involved in the action.
And the Golden Eagles, you knew they were determined. On the road, down big, let's finish it off with a touchdown. Oatsvall, little zone read, and then the design play to pitch the ball out to Price. They schemed it up and executed well.
That has to feel good for this offense, too.
And to finally capitalize in the red zone. They've been having troubles. They found a way to punch it in. The O-line did the job up front.
56-10 now after the score. Oatsvall with his first touchdown pass for Tennessee Tech. Yeah, they're loving every moment of this in Lawrence, Kansas tonight. The Jayhawks all over Tennessee Tech. Looking good in week 1.
Yeah, they're not slowing down at all. Still moving, and job well done by Kansas so far tonight.
Led 56-3 up until a little bit ago, and Tennessee Tech got its first touchdown of the night. Fans still hanging around too. And Morrison with the fair catch for the touchback. Hey, there's a lot of awesome football games coming up over Labor Day weekend here on ABC and the ESPN family of networks. 3 ranked matchups. Which one you got an eye on?
Well, the Notre Dame-Ohio State game Saturday night. You're going to have games all day, and to finish off tomorrow night with that ball game, that's going to be a fun matchup.
Brian Kelly getting his LSU coaching career underway as well. I'll tell you what, that Utah-Florida game on Saturday, I think that's going to be awesome.
That'll be amazing. It's a tough atmosphere for Utah to go in, but this is an excellent group that Kyle Whittingham has.
And Clemson and Georgia Tech, the only game on the schedule Monday as well. Find a couch and park on it, and do that every Saturday for the rest of the season too while you're at it. And Morrison, a short carry.
Number 28, Savion Morrison.
Hey, how about the first big upset of college football coming just a little bit ago? Old Dominion taking down Virginia Tech.
Yeah, that's why they played the games, and that's a rivalry in Virginia. ODU over in Norfolk and Blacksburg not far away, so that game has a lot of bragging rights, and that's a huge win, one of the biggest in ODU's history.
You're seeing ODU next week, right? You've got their game against ECU.
Facing East Carolina down in Greenville, so they'll be on the road in week 2.
Coming off a huge win over Virginia Tech. Oh, Morrison lost the football. Tennessee Tech saying they got it. And they do.
Recovered by Tennessee Tech. Number 19, Aaron Swafford.
All right, a little bit going here for Tennessee Tech.
I'll tell you, the coaching staff is going to be proud with the effort. In the fourth quarter, you're down big, you get a touchdown, and then now you're continuing to fight. Clawing for the ball on the defensive side, just rips it.
Aaron Swafford forced it and recovered it. A lot of smiles for that young fella.
First and 10, Tennessee Tech at the 37.
A chance for the Golden Eagles down on a little bit more here in the final 4:08. This is Lem Wash, the backup, and he zips it over the head of Cross. So Oatsvall's day might be done. Dwayne Alexander deciding to go with Lem Wash here, the backup, getting him a little bit of time, a young kid, just a sophomore. Coming back to his home state, he's from Wichita, was the Kansas Gatorade Player of the Year back in 2020, where he threw for over 1,300 yards, ran for over 1,200, and a guy who, like I just said, young, still developing, but he's going to be around this program for a little bit.
Second and 10, 37.
He tosses here to Ross, the speedster on the edge.
Number 10, O.J. Ross. Brought down by number 8, Quentin Lassiter.
And Wash is the heir apparent once Oatsvall graduates. He'll be getting the starting nod moving forward.
35 at the 32.
Really likes his ability.
Won a couple state championships at Derby High School in Wichita. Saw a little bit of time last year in a backup role. Played in 4 games, only attempted 14 passes. Third down. Ross straight up to the middle into a swarm of Kansas defenders, and it's 4th down.
Offense staying on the field.
On 4th and 5. Trying to see what they can create here. 6 of 16 a year ago on 4th down was Tennessee Tech. Didn't go for it a ton on 4th down. And right beforehand, a timeout taken by Tennessee Tech. Oh, I talked about a lot of those big games going on tomorrow, and a lot of those names that you saw are over the course of the weekend are on this as well. AP Top 10, 9 of the top 10 teams playing on ABC or the ESPN family of networks this weekend, including the 2 at the very bottom, a pair of Big 12 schools.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see Oklahoma and Baylor continue on throughout this season. I think they're going to have an opportunity to have outstanding years. And look at Clemson at number 4. Last year was a down year. They still won 10 ball games, but they're kind of sitting there underrated right now. It's all going to be about the quarterback play for the Tigers.
Putting you on the spot, you give Georgia Tech a chance in that game or no?
No.
All right.
No.
Quick and concise, right to the point.
Probably not in that one.
Wash on 4th down, completes it to Cross, swims past a defender, and he's got the first down. That was catch number 1 on the night for Quentin Cross, who led the team in receptions and receiving yards a year ago.
Told us his goal is 1,000 yards this year. I believe he will reach it. He's going to be the number 1 guy in the passing game.
Yeah, just under 600 a season ago, receiving yards, that is. Geese torn down at the 20-yard line by McCaskill.
No, this week we had an opportunity to talk to both coaching staffs, and how good were the coaches?
They were awesome.
I mean, these guys are first-class people, but you can tell how talented they are as far as their coaching ability. But really good, just men that these players have to look up to.
And both coaching staffs really eager and excited about the years that their teams could have, and that's not going to end tonight for Tennessee Tech. Here's the throw off the fake to Pakis, and an open field tackle by Jarrett Paul. That's Dwayne Alexander, the head coach. He said, hey, this is my 5th year here, and it's by far the best I feel about any of the teams I've had.
And you see talent on the field. There's guys that have flashed tonight. The outcome isn't going to be what they were looking for, but there's a lot of takeaways. And the film that they watch tonight, I think, can really help them as they move into next week's game.
You got Texas A&M, Commerce next week, Samford the week after before a bye week in week 4. Geese trips and loses a couple yards. And Kansas, on the other hand, at West Virginia next Saturday for their first road game. That's on Big 12 Now on ESPN+, and then head to Houston the week after and Duke for their final non-conference games. Next week could be a really good barometer of exactly where Kansas is at with West Virginia.
A tough atmosphere in Morganton. They go to West Virginia, then Houston, and then they have a 3-game homestand.
Second subtraction. There are no timeouts left for Tennessee Tech to avoid that. The game is over.
Well, the 10-second runoff will quickly end this game. How about Kansas? 56-10 the final, a team that went just 2-10 a season ago. It's an FCS team that they played, but man, Kansas looked the part.
And Kansas is on their way. They passed the eye test, and how fast and physical they played, and just the joy from coming out here and performing tonight. It was evident. I expect them to continue to do big things in the coming weeks.
A winner tonight for Kansas by a final score of 56-10. A big thank you to Steve Melton, our producer, Chris Ohlmeyer, director, and the rest of our incredible crew here on ESPN Plus. For Jay Sonhalter, I'm Noah Reed saying so long from Lawrence, Kansas, where the final score is 56-10. Kansas wins it. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streamed live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.